services now.
Yeah,
Are we live on Facebook?
and you're testing out the new Facebook live stream.
You're live on
Facebook. Yes.
We're live,
We're
on,
live
YouTube.
on YouTube.
We're
Yes.
live on YouTube.
We're live on
Facebook. All right, so YouTube needs us to speak up so YouTube can hear us. Facebook can hear us. We already know that.
We should be live on this too.
And I can pull this up so I can monitor. Can I monitor stuff?
I'm gonna adjust you slightly here.
Adjust us. Make sure we look good on there.
You look
Oh,
great,
there it
and
There
nobody
it
is behind a tripod.
Wow.
Hey, we look all right. It's looking all right. There's a lot of wires, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So where
And I'm going to say hi to the Facebook Live audience. If you're just wondering what's going on, we record. It's Todd Bishop and Andrew Edwards from GeekWire and Gear Live, and we record our weekly radio show and podcast Geared Up every week around this time.
People are commenting.
We're
all right.
experimenting with YouTube live streaming and Facebook live streaming, so you have your choice here today. And we're going to get started in just a second. So thanks for tuning in and checking it out. We're talking about Apple Music and Carpool Karaoke and the new app show. What's it called again?
Planet of the Apps.
Planet of the Apps.
Planet of the Apps.
We're going to be talking about unlimited data on T-Mobile and how that's changing a lot of the competitive dynamics in the industry.
Yep.
And then plus the Cavo. It's a streaming device?
Streaming device. We got a bunch of stuff.
A lot of stuff to talk about. Plus, later on I'm going to be talking about my favorite new little Windows 10 PC, which I've got right here, in fact, and it's powering the display behind us. So we got a lot to talk about, and we're going to get started here as soon as Andrew's done typing.
All right. We have a lot of comments going on in YouTube already.
Already?
It's a big chat room.
Hey, Facebook folks, come on, let's get it
Facebook,
going.
let's go comments. YouTube, good job, YouTubers. Thanks to everybody out there commenting. As we do the show, feel free to leave your questions, comments, and everything, and we'll address them on the show as we do this.
You kind of got the two shot going there.
Yeah, I do. Yes.
All right.
And they said they can hear us fine, so that's great.
Perfect. Well, I'm ready whenever you are, Claire.
Alrighty.
Someone said Facebook is whack.
Hold on, I need to get the SD card.
We almost started recording without having a SD card
in the media.
That would have not been good.
Yeah. So while folks are just waiting for us to start here, let's talk about the YouTube live streaming because this is new.
This is brand new. So YouTube launched this a week ago. So YouTube launched this basically a week ago to where you can live stream from your device, whether it's an iPhone, iPad, Android, etc., which you couldn't do before. So now you can just set. So I have the iPhone set up in a tripod right here in front of me, and I just told YouTube that we're going live, and we have it pointed at us, and it's just working. So
that's pretty slick.
That's amazing because now you can live stream from anywhere.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah, you need the black one.
Okay, got it.
All right, so just be patient just a little bit longer.
What happened?
So
we're getting the right SD card, then we'll start the show.
Yeah. So because before you needed like full transcoding.
Yeah, you needed a computer and you needed some sort of transcoding software. And so I just never did a live stream because I didn't know how all that worked and I didn't want to mess with it.
Yeah.
So all my YouTube videos were obviously edited after the fact, but now
it's interesting because live streaming has obviously been a huge push for Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And that's one reason why we're giving it a shot here. We use a Mevo camera to do the Facebook live stream. If nobody's ever checked that out, it's really an interesting one. We've gone back, just if folks have watched us over the weeks, we've gone back just to the native audio on the Mevo camera, whereas we're recording here for the radio and the podcast, and then we got this recorded 3 different ways.
Right, that's true. That's true.
Are we good?
We are good.
Okay.
We're all good to go. We're about to
Whenever
start.
you're ready.
All right. I'm ready for you. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'll kick it off.
Here we go.
All right, it's time to get geared up. From GeekWire.com in Seattle, I'm Todd Bishop.
I'm Andrew Edwards.
We got a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah.
We've got some crazy new video shows coming up on Apple Music.
That's weird.
We've got some interesting devices, including one of the smallest Windows 10 PCs I've ever seen.
Right here, this teaser.
That's right.
This is a computer right here in my hand.
Yeah, it's about the size of an iPhone, so it's super tiny. And just a lot to talk about, including some other new devices that we've got coming up this week. So let's jump into it.
Let's jump in. What's our first topic today?
Our first topic.
Whoa!
Planet of the Apps and
Will.i.am.
Carpool Karaoke on Apple Music. This was announced this past week, or it's been announced for a while, but they teased it this past week.
Right.
Of course, Amazon and Hulu and Netflix, all these tech companies are getting into original content.
Right.
But here comes Apple.
Yes.
So what do you think of this?
Well, so first of all, I mean, it's cool that Apple's getting into original content. I don't have a problem with that. That makes sense to me. What I've been trying to figure out, though, is why a service. Apple Music is a music streaming service.
Yeah.
Why would they get, so Carpool Karaoke, I understand.
Yes.
It's a music show. You can put that on Apple Music. There's synergy there. Planet of the Apps, this, if you don't know, it's a reality show that's kind of like Shark Tank, where entrepreneurs come out and they pitch their app idea while they're going down an escalator. So it's kind of weird and disorienting. So they have 60 seconds between the top of the escalator and the bottom. And while they're riding the escalator, they have to pitch their app idea. They have 60 seconds. Then the judges, you have, who is this? Dark Angel, I forget her name. Jessica Alba.
Come on, man.
I forgot.
Are
Jessica
you
Alba.
serious? That's Jessica Alba.
Will.i.am with the gold shoes, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
So these four are listening to the pitch, and then they have to determine, by the time that 60 seconds is up, that they are interested in helping this developer. And then the developer has to choose one to be their mentor. So it's very weird, because that has nothing to do with music. These are not music, these are just apps.
Well, you go to the iTunes store to get apps. I mean, it's sort
Right.
of, it's consistently inconsistent.
Yes,
I
that's
would
exactly
say.
what it is. So I was thinking about it, and the only thing I could come up, first of all, this show, the teaser looked pretty bad, in my opinion. And I was wondering if that's because I am someone who is into technology. So I saw someone make the comparison of like reality cooking shows. Like, because I really like watching things like Top Chef or Hell's Kitchen and things like that.
And are you a chef?
I'm not a chef.
There you
so
go.
the thing is, does a chef look at those shows and say, this is stupid? So that might be, my reaction here, and I'm wondering what the general reaction is. If anybody out there has seen the trailer to Planet of the Apps, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube Live, let us know what you thought, if it interested you, because I thought it just seemed kind of odd.
Here's my issue with it. It is so derivative. It's like you could just hear the pitch for this. It's like The Voice, meets meets Shark Tank, for apps.
Right,
I mean,
for apps,
it's
yes.
like, okay, all right. Well, there's Gwyneth Paltrow and Gary Vaynerchuk. I mean, interesting people.
Right.
Gwyneth Paltrow is a business executive in her own right. So I mean,
She has some weird ideas, though.
she does. At any rate, I'll be watching. So do you know the premiere date on this?
They
one?
just said spring.
Spring.
So it'll be, that's soon, I guess. Sometime within the next couple months it'll air. They said there will also be an app for the show.
Well, that
so
makes sense.
It won't just be, because there's the Apple Music app, but it'll also have its own app. So you can watch the show, and then if you want to see behind the scenes, you can go into different areas of the app. You can download the apps. So the day that that show airs, those apps that are in that show will be available to download. So you can kind of play along.
Well, I'll be interested. I'm a huge fan of The Voice. Big fan of The Voice.
Okay.
Very
Christina
very
Aguilera?
similar to you. I cannot sing. Well, much as you cannot cook and you love the cooking.
No, I love
shows.
cooking. I'm not a professional chef.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I will throw it out in the kitchen.
You will?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to take you up on that.
Please.
You should please sometime bring in some food.
All
we
right.
should do this at lunch, and
All
you
right.
should bring in some food.
This guy. No, my wife actually put you on our list of people to invite over. So
She already did?
yes,
Oh,
she put you on the list.
because she's tired of you insulting me. on the
Probably,
show.
probably. Yeah, she wants to
And-
make good. My wife says that I insult him too much on the show.
And
I make fun
said-
of him too much.
I said she's obviously never listened to the shows with John Cook, my colleague, who we just go, we just
Right,
insult
we
each
have a
other
good
all the
time.
time.
That's how you do.
At any rate, my big thing with The Voice is after the blind auditions, after the blinds, as they call
Okay.
them, it gets boring. It just becomes sort of another talent show.
Interesting.
So if they can get past that hurdle on the Planet of the Apps, then I'm in.
Right. So the thing with this show is that it is not a series where the app developers go through the whole season. Each show is a standalone, kind of like Shark Tank. Each show is a standalone, so you can watch them out of order or whatever. So you don't have to worry about following an app's development over the course of the season.
Gotcha. That's a lot better, actually.
Yeah. And the thing that I thought of when I was trying to think of why are they putting this in Apple Music, because they're going to do more. These aren't the only two shows that they're going to have on there. I likened it to MTV, where MTV was music videos,
Right.
and then they started branching out with other content that had nothing to do with music, but was more targeted towards pop culture, and that brought in a larger audience. And I'm wondering if Apple Music, instead of being a service, is now a platform, and it's a platform for Apple to reach the pop culture masses.
I think you're right.
I don't know.
So what about Carpool Karaoke? Because we teased
See, that looked good.
Yeah. Well, and of course, that's obviously an existing segment
Yes.
on James
Very
Corden's
popular.
show and a viral hit.
Yep.
What does it say that Apple has essentially acquired that?
I think what that says is Apple is, that's a music play and a pop culture play at the same time. And that's a smart one because it fits into Apple Music. It'll be an Apple Music exclusive. And then they're getting all these pop culture icons on the show. So James Corden is not going to be the main character in Carpool Karaoke anymore. He'll still appear in it, but it's going to be, you're going to have two celebrities just riding with each other. No James Corden in the car.
Oh, so that's how they're scaling it.
Right, exactly. So it's going to just be, they're going to pair up random celebrities and they're going to do carpool karaoke, and they're also going to put them in situations outside the car as well. So one thing I saw was Shaquille O'Neal and John Cena showed up in like a bakery after they were in the car, singing together. They were at a bakery doing some sort of skit. So apparently they're going to be doing more than just karaoke. They'll probably be 30-minute episodes where they pair up these different people. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Anybody out there have an opinion on carpool karaoke?
It's interesting because you've got this phenomenon where Netflix just acquired comedians in cars getting coffee with a Jerry Seinfeld show that had been on Crackle. I think it's almost like you've got this sort of farm system now for the services where they're picking them up from different places. Even sometimes something will start on TV and like Amazon will revive it.
Yeah.
A couple of
or
examples.
Netflix. Netflix revived a couple of things from TV.
Yeah, Fuller House. I mean, who can forget that?
Right. But there have even been shows like The Mindy Project, which was popular on network TV, but not popular enough to keep it on there. And Hulu was like, okay, we'll take that, and we will buy the rights and we'll keep it going. So, I mean, that's just the future. The future is TV content and these different services, just picking up exclusive content because they need to sell, the idea of getting people onto their service, unlike music.
Do you consider Apple Music with stuff like this a credible threat to any of the existing services? It seems like Apple is just sort of dabbling in all this stuff all along.
I think there is a slow burn happening. I think Apple has a plan. And, to us, we saw, okay, Apple Music, Apple wants to take on Spotify, and they want to take on Amazon and all this. They want to be in music. And now we're seeing shows getting mixed in. So now it's like, wait, they want to take on Netflix and they want to take on Hulu. And really what Apple wants to do is become just an all-out powerhouse in media and pop culture.
All right. You're listening to Geared Up. I'm Todd Bishop. He's Andrew Edwards. We've got a lot to talk about this week. We're going to take a break, and we will be right back. You're listening to GeekWire on Kyra Radio 97.3 FM. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Geared Up.
So it gives you both?
Yep.
All right, let's just keep going. All right, we're back from GeekWire.com in Seattle. I'm Todd Bishop.
I'm Andrew Edwards.
It's Geared Up, and we've got a big show to talk about this week. So let's move on to our next topic, which is this device.
Cavo.
Yes, that's right, Cavo.
We were practicing saying that correctly, so I was excited to just get it out.
CAAVO.
Yes.
2 A's, 1 V, 1 O.
That's right.
And 1 C at the beginning.
You got it. All out of order, but that's correct.
So what the heck is this thing?
So this thing is interesting because it is a set-top box for your set-top boxes. So you would plug in, let's just say, an Apple TV, your cable box, your whatever else you might have on your what do you call these? Your Roku, all those things. You plug those into here.
In your entertainment. Everything in your entertainment center plugs into one device?
One device. So kind of like the receiver, but this is between the receiver, because what this then does is it intelligently knows what's plugged into it. And the way that it does that is not through identifying it through the cable or anything. It actually looks at the signal that's being generated. So it visually scans and sees what the device is. So let's just say you had an Apple TV plugged in. This device knows what the Apple TV menu looks like and therefore says, oh, this is an Apple TV. And it knows what apps you have installed, not by doing any sort of inventory of your apps, but actually by scrolling through and seeing what apps are on your screen.
Whoa.
So that allows you to say, for example, I want to watch Game of Thrones. It knows, okay, Game of Thrones is an HBO show, so I need to find the HBO app and open the HBO app and then scroll over to Game of Thrones and hit play. So it does everything that a human would do, but it knows immediately what actions to take. And this is cool because there have been times where I was like, okay, I want to watch this show, but I forget, is this a Netflix show? Is it a Hulu show? Oh no, it's an Amazon show. And I go through nope, it's on HBO. So I have to go in and out of different apps to find the show I want to watch. Here it's like, you say what show you want to watch, it knows what app it's in, and it'll go to it and find it for you.
Is that the main feature, the main benefit?
I believe so.
Because it costs $400.
I mean, that's expensive.
Yes.
But it's machine learning. I mean,
this seems like it's unnecessary.
It's about taking you into the future. And you know, new things like this are going to be expensive. But what it's really doing is it's saving you the time of jumping in and out of apps, I guess.
Okay, I like the concept, and it really speaks to a challenge that I have. I completely agree with you. It's not just, wait, is that show on Netflix? It's like, wait, do I get Netflix Best on my Fire TV stick,
Right.
or on my Xbox? And wait a second, which HDMI port was the Xbox? Oh, that's right, it's HDMI 2. You know,
Yeah.
it's like all these things. So I like the concept.
Mhm.
This seems like it should be a $49 device to me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not that low.
tenth of the cost.
I can see $100
Or a quarter.
Um,
My math
there
is
has to
bad
be
on
something.
fly.
I mean, again, it's machine learning, so this is maybe what it's doing now.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, you know, that technology allows us to do more. It's not out yet. I don't know exactly. Like, we haven't got our hands on it and we haven't used it. But you know, machine learning is a thing that's coming to fruition now. Back to you always go back to knowing where your car was parked.
Yes.
You park your car, your phone is like, hey, you parked here. You get excited about that. How much would you pay for that feature if you had to download that as an in-app purchase?
So I've actually gone. So do you do regular cable TV? Are
Yes.
you an Xfinity subscriber?
Yes.
So I had the X1 box for quite a while, and I liked it. And it seems like this is a competitor to X1 in some ways because
Yeah.
they've been incorporating Netflix and other services into that Comcast device. And so in a sense, through software, they're doing what they're doing through a cord
Right.
here in some ways.
Yeah.
So
And I think that is it too. Like, again, we have to get our hands on it to really see like what makes it worth $400.
Yeah.
Because that is pretty expensive. It has 8 ports. You can plug in 8 things. The other thing is, I don't know who would have 8 different set-top boxes. Like, that's a lot.
yeah,
I don't really
you.
know. Maybe me,
I mean-
yes, but I mean, for the average person, like I have all those because I'm testing things out.
Right.
But the average person probably
don't
has.
know.
Like, if you have an Xbox, you don't need a Roku. Like
That's true.
And if you have an Xbox and a Roku, you're pretty much good. You know what I mean? If you have both of those things,
Yeah.
you're pretty much set. So I don't know.
So this ships in the fall.
Ships in the fall, and they'll probably reveal more about what it can do as time goes on. But it has some notable founders. It's supposed to be, it's supposed to be the next wave of TV watching. I don't know what that means.
I think
but-
this is pointing to something that'll be actually solving a problem in 3 years. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like the next 3, version 2 will be more interesting, and version 3 will be like, I need that. And
Sure,
it's actually,
sure.
Actually worth $400.
Right.
So-
Or it'll be less.
Yeah.
That's
deal.
Cabo.
All right, so that's Cabo, and it's shipping in the fall.
Shipping in the fall.
All right. Let's talk about this.
Ooh, this is exciting to me.
So this is a T-Mobile promo, we should say, that,
Right.
that we just screen grabbed here to illustrate this story. We're not promoting the T-Mobile stuff.
No.
Although I am a T-Mobile subscriber,
Okay.
for better or worse.
Well, let me ask you. Okay, so yeah, I was going to
Oftentimes
ask you.
worse.
I was going to ask you about that. So T-Mobile service.
Yes.
They keep saying, John Ledger keeps saying, we are there, and independent tests keep saying T-Mobile and Verizon are neck and neck for performance and speed. But that doesn't mean they're neck and neck for getting a signal.
That's right. So my problem with T-Mobile is not in the city. So if I'm in Seattle or Portland or even Vancouver, BC, wherever, obviously I think they hand off to somebody else up there.
Sure.
But at any rate, major metropolitan areas, totally fine.
Okay.
When I get out into like where I grew up in rural Northern California,
Okay.
I have problems. I have many problems with T-Mobile.
Like no signal or just weak signal?
What's the old? One time I saw, and this was relatively recently, GRSM. It wasn't
Oh,
just
wow.
it wasn't just CDMA. It
Yeah.
was like pre-CDMA.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
So, yeah, they still need to fill in. I've actually talked to the T-Mobile executives about this. Neville Ray, their CTO.
Okay.
And they acknowledge that they still got to fill in parts of the map. Now, for the most part, I agree. They're on par with Verizon, AT&T, all those other wireless companies. And T-Mobile is also just more interesting in a lot of ways.
Very much so. Yeah.
The what do they call the Tuesday things that they do?
T-Mobile Tuesday.
Yeah, T-Mobile Tuesday.
Yep.
That kind of stuff. I find it more entertaining to be a T-Mobile customer.
Yeah. AT&T jumped on that. They have AT&T Ticket Tuesdays now.
Yeah.
So people have to keep reacting to T-Mobile.
Yes.
But this was interesting because T-Mobile had to react to Verizon this week.
Okay, so let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So T-Mobile went unlimited essentially with T-Mobile One a while back, if I
Right.
understand correctly.
Yes.
So what did Verizon do this past
Well,
week?
T-Mobile One wasn't truly, it was unlimited with some caveats. So for example, your video streaming would not be in high definition. They would dumb it down to 480p. which I didn't think was really a big deal because you're usually doing this on your phone.
It's not a big deal.
So it's not a big deal. But some people, it's like, hey, if I'm unlimited, I want unlimited. Give me the full quality of what I'm trying to stream.
And that was through their T-Mobile, the binge on
Yes.
service. Yeah.
And they also, their hotspot it wasn't, their hotspot service wasn't great with your unlimited plan. So now Verizon came out and said, hey, we're going to give you unlimited data. We're going to give you unlimited text, unlimited calling, truly unlimited. And we're going to give you 10 gigabytes of LTE hotspot data. And when you run out of that 10 gigabytes, you'll still have unlimited data on hotspot. It'll just be 3G. So you're still getting unlimited. And you'll start getting throttled down if it's congested on your regular data after you use, I believe it was 23 gigabytes.
Okay.
So that's a lot. Like, I think even me, the most I've ever used is like 7 gigabytes. And that was like a month where I was traveling all over the place. So that's a lot of data. It's pretty much unlimited. But even so, if you run out, you'll still get to use your data, both on hotspot and on your phone. So here, T-Mobile had to say, okay, hold on. Now Verizon is offering a better plan than we are, because Verizon was offering all of this, I believe, for $80, as long as you were doing auto pay and getting paperless billing. Get it for $80 plus fees, taxes. So here you see this is Verizon's promo image, and this is T-Mobile's promo image, and T-Mobile said, okay, we're going to give you the same data allotment. We're gonna give you that 10 gigabytes of LTE tethering, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna include all the taxes.
Right.
So now T-Mobile is saying we're offering the same thing Verizon's offering, but taxes are included. So whatever the final price is, which is I think 70, that's for 4 lines.
Yeah.
So it's $70 for one line. That's your final, like, that's what they're going to take off your credit card each month, $70, because all the taxes and fees are included in that price. So Verizon is 80 plus tax, which will probably get you up to, $95, maybe $100, whereas T-Mobile is saying just 70.
It's interesting because you went, like AT&T went away from unlimited a while back, and it seems like T-Mobile has essentially pushed the industry back to it with these restrictions, with some caveats.
Yeah, so Sprint has an unlimited plan now, but no one really is into Sprint. Like, Sprint's network is not really that great.
Yeah.
Verizon just came out with one. AT&T has an unlimited plan, but the only way you can get theirs is if you're a DirecTV customer. So if you're a DirecTV customer, that like unlocks the ability for you to then pay $100 for unlimited data, but you cannot use it with tethering.
Right.
So theirs is the worst. I'm actually on a grandfathered AT&T plan from back in the day when the first iPhone came out. So I'm grandfathered in, but again, I don't get
to unlimited.
But I don't get tethering. And so the funny thing is, my bill has a 23% discount on it for a corporate discount, and I pay roughly $90 a month. So I'm paying more for less.
Would you ever think about getting rid of the unlimited, going with one of these other services?
Yeah, because both of these unlimited plans are better than what I have now.
So are you going to make the leap?
I might make the leap.
You should write about that. We should talk when you.
I might make the leap.
When you do it, we should talk about it here on Geared Up.
Right. I mean, because again, whether it's T-Mobile, you're paying $70 instead of the $90 that I'm paying. You're saving $20 and getting a better plan, or you go to Verizon, you're getting way better coverage, way better service.
Here's where I am on all this. The issue is that everybody's needs are different.
Mm-hmm.
All of the wireless plans are very complicated to follow, except for T-Mobile. It is nice that they're wrapping, essentially taking the taxes and fees into the bill now. My advice is set aside 10 minutes a month, 5-10 minutes a month to truly look at your bill. And it doesn't
take a look at the bill.
Yeah, not just the wireless stuff. Take a look at your cable bill. You'll be shocked sometimes at the things you can get rid of. Don't rent your cable modem. Buy a cable modem one time. I mean, just with a little bit of attention, you can save yourself some significant money every month, and that compounds itself over the year and the years. Anyway, I'm big into actually reading or at least scanning the bill.
We're having a lot of T-Mobile customers here saying that their service sucks.
Yeah.
Why are you with them then?
Yeah.
Why do you stay with them if it sucks?
Free pizza.
That's true. Every Tuesday you get some free pizza.
Well, no, it's not free pizza every Tuesday, but it's free something every Tuesday. Frequently, or sometimes pizza.
I saw a lot of T-Mobile customers posting pictures of like heart-shaped pizzas yesterday.
Yeah, I think
that was interesting.
Yeah, I think that was the promotion for T-Mobile Tuesdays this week.
Right. My wife actually calls every like 3 months. She'll call like the cable company, right? She like threatened to cancel, and like the bill gets lowered by like 25% every time.
That's smart. You do that with Xfinity too.
Yeah.
I've got a friend. Oh, that's a whole other story. We'll save that for another time. But
People like stories.
Some a very budget conscious friend who does that, and she's the type of person who, when you go to a hotel, she will purposefully come up with something to complain about. She's not even upset.
Something is wrong in the room.
Something is wrong in the room, and she'll call the front desk and complain each day.
That's great.
Hopefully she's watching.
Hopefully she's not. I don't know.
It's all right, Cheryl. It's going to be okay. I know I just talked about you on the show.
People are asking what phones we use. Do you want to divulge?
Oh man, I use an iPhone 6s Plus.
That's not bad.
6s Plus.
It's not bad.
I mean, I know, but it's not the 7.
It's not the 7. I use an iPhone 7 Plus. I'm very excited about the next year's iPhone, which we talked about in the past. We'll probably talk about it again next time because there's so many new rumors now.
Yeah.
But we didn't have time this week.
Well, Robert Scoble was in last week on our GeekWire show.
What did he say? He said something crazy. I'm sure.
So he thinks that the next wave of iPhones is going to be all about augmented reality, and
I agree with that.
That's the reason that they're showing the clear one.
Who's showing the clear one? No one's showing the clear one.
Some random, but he's convinced that it's going to be.
Robert Scoble believes the next iPhone is the next major iPhone because I think there's going to be 2 models next time.
I don't want to misquote him. I'm not sure exactly.
I've seen what he said. He believes the next iPhone, the major one, the top of the line one, is going to be clear.
Yes.
And that there'll be like basically a strip, a solid strip at the bottom or the top, and the rest of the device will be clear like plastic. And you can see through it.
Yes. And
there's going to be augmented reality elements on that iPhone. I don't think that's going to be the case. In my opinion, what's going to happen is it's going to be a bezel-less iPhone, and it's going to use the camera to basically, whenever you launch the camera, you're seeing what's behind the camera. And if it's bezel-less, now the phone looks clear because it's all camera. It's all window now. And I think that's what it's going to be because there's so many. I mean, the battery itself. You have a big battery in there. How's that going to be clear?
Okay, so I know what the bezel is. How do you make a bezel-less device? It's just clear?
The way you make a bezel-less device is you have a thin bezel at the top, thin bezel at the bottom, and the sides curve.
Okay.
So like the Note 7,
okay.
The Note 7 that was exploding and they had to get rid of, that was an almost bezel-less phone. But the next ones, the LG G6, the Samsung Galaxy S8, those are going to be true like almost bezel-less devices. They're going to curve, they're going to have a thin layer at the top, thin layer at the bottom for your home button and your camera at the top and your earpiece, and the rest is going to just be screen that curves around the side. So that makes it, once you launch a camera, it's like you're just holding 2 strips at the side. Everything else becomes, it blends into the world. So I think that's where we're going to see the next iPhone go.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about my favorite new computers. We got them right here in front of us. Do you see them, Andrew?
Yeah, I see them. Yes. This right here, okay. This is a full-on computer right here.
That's right. So, 2 things. First, I want to talk about this. You said it's Ockel. Is that right?
I don't know if that's right. Ockel, I don't know.
Let's go with Ockel.
Ockel.
Okay. This is a
hold it up?
So this is a device.
There it is.
This is a Windows 10 PC.
That whole thing. This
whole
all
thing.
encompassing. And let me turn it to the side because look how thin this is.
Yeah.
This is a Windows 10 PC.
It's
and
called
at the top. It's got a power connector, 2 and 3 USB ports. No, 2 USB ports and an HDMI.
Right. And it's got a micro SD on the side.
Oh.
It's got a headphone jack and a mic jack.
They're still keeping the headphone jack on this.
They didn't get the memo.
They're keeping it old school.
So this is, I should, in full disclosure, I bought this myself. I somehow didn't get a comp on this.
Okay.
From our own GeekWire deals.
Okay, right.
I'll put a link into the thing if you want to check it out. It's $189, but I like this because it's a trend. This is the Chrome bit. This is not a Chrome
Most people don't know
cast.
about this.
Yeah, most people, I don't know why they have not promoted this more. So it's an Asus machine. It's basically like a Chromebook on a stick.
On a stick.
Not a Chromecast. I just want to be clear. You are not streaming to this. You plug this into your HDMI port in the TV. It's got a USB here, so you can plug in essentially the little USB receiver for the keyboard and mouse. And you can run Chrome, the OS,
full Chrome OS,
on an HDMI enabled device. TV.
Yeah.
I love these things. We've got so many of these in the office now.
That?
This one is let me look it up here. Why is it not there?
It's right there. $84.99.
Oh, $84.99. Yeah,
$84.99.
85 bucks. $85. So it's about $100 less than this. This though, and also it's 4 gigs of RAM, whereas this is 2 gigs of RAM.
Okay.
Which
2 gigs for Windows.
2 gigs for Windows, although it's Windows 10. It is pretty light. So I've actually got it running on the computer here behind us. So let me just show you, give you a little tour here. So this is this device. So it's pretty good resolution, as you can see. Of course, that's coming off the screen. So it, is essentially, where should we go? We'll go to GeekWire.
So this is actually this Ockel PC running on the TV behind us.
Now, I will say, as you can see, it is not the fastest computer you have ever run.
No.
And the other thing was when it showed up, it had a little, the seam along the top was not as good as it should have been.
Okay.
It was coming apart a little bit. I pressed it down, it seems to be good. But it's a $189 PC, it's...
Right, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
So obviously we're getting a demo here.
Do you know the specs on this?
Yes, so
you said 2 gigs. Someone asked about the specs in the comments. So we got 2 gigs.
2 gigs on the...
2 gigs of RAM.
Yep, and actually I will, what I'll do is I will drop into the Facebook Live feed, I'll drop a link so people can check it out. 2 gigs of RAM, and I'll tell you the rest here.
What kind of processor is in here?
Yeah, it is an Intel, I believe it's a Bay Trail, does that sound right?
Intel Bay Trail processor.
Yep.
I don't know about that processor.
Yeah, it's Intel Atom Bay Trail processor.
Oh, it's Intel Atom. Okay,
Yeah,
so it's an Atom processor.
Yep, 2 gigs
2
of
gigs
RAM, 32 gig hard drive here, and the page is finally loading.
Okay.
So
it took a while to load a web page, as you can see. It's not the fastest in the world, but again, it's a $189 computer.
Yep, and I was, just as an example, I think this may be something to do with our Wi-Fi network at the moment. But for example, I was testing this out yesterday. I was able to load a very email-heavy Google Apps email, Gmail interface.
Right.
Go through, delete all my emails very quickly. I mean, for basic, fundamental web tasks, I like these machines. Now, no video. Like if you want to edit a video, stay hundreds of miles away from these.
You're not
things.
doing that on an Intel Atom.
But for me, in terms of bringing the TV or bringing the computer into the living room, this is a great way to do it. I get these really basic Logitech keyboards with the mice, with the wireless capabilities.
Right.
And it's nice because with these you just have one receiver for the two, and it's, to me, I think this is sort of an underappreciated new frontier of computing.
Do you have this in your house?
I actually don't have that in my
See,
house.
I knew it. I knew it.
Nothing in the house.
I knew your house did not have anything modern.
You get home and it's like, I don't want all this fancy stuff. Give me my Xbox 360.
Oh man. Are you getting a Switch?
I would like to get a Switch.
You're gonna get a Nintendo Switch for the office or for the house?
Something for the house. I think my
whoa.
daughter would really like it.
Whoa.
I do have a Chromebook at the house.
Okay.
We're sort of weaning ourselves off the original Surface RT for the Chromebook.
Oh, man.
I know this is all recurring themes. People who listen to this are getting tired of me talking about my Surface RT.
Talking about your old technology.
Yeah. By the way, somebody on the Facebook Live thread asked, who is this? And I assume that was a reference to either me or you.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So
who are you?
Let's do a level set here. So this is the recording of our weekly Geared Up show.
Okay.
That is a podcast segment on the GeekWire radio show.
Yes.
I'm Todd Bishop from GeekWire. He's Andrew Edwards from Gear Live.
Yes.
Longtime technology gadget reviewer, reporter, journalist.
Yes. Tech
Man about
influencer.
town, tech influencer.
Yeah, so gearlive.com, you can find me at youtube.com/gearlive as well. And we teamed up. We've been friends for a long time. We decided let's combine our efforts and do a cool weekly show that deals specifically with tech. So not only is there the live stream video, but there's also the podcast. So if you want to listen to it on your way to work or whatever, you can download it, listen to it in the car.
That's right. Right now, you get that through the GeekWire podcast.
Yes.
Very soon, I've been investigating this, and I need to talk to you about it.
Uh-oh.
You're going to be able to get your own Geared Up podcast
The
feed.
Geared Up podcast feed is coming at you. So right now, look for the GeekWire podcast. This is there, but soon there'll be a dedicated
That's right.
Geared Up podcast you can listen to. And of course, we do this every week.
So I'm curious, what do people think of the YouTube streaming?
Yeah, what do you guys think of the YouTube stream? Does it sound good? Does it look good? I know there's a lot of chat going on. Someone said you need to interact with the audience more.
Okay. All right. Well,
then,
let's do it. Let's
leave
real time.
Real time. Throw some questions in, and we'll answer them.
Yeah, it is hard, and that is one challenge I've had. We're trying to do so many different media here that it is hard to give dedicated focus to one channel.
Right.
You got the radio, the podcast, the YouTube stream, the Facebook Live.
And then I'm monitoring YouTube here. You're monitoring Facebook there. So you guys can't see. We try to make it so you can't see everything, but there's like camera here, camera there, monitor, and then we have to also take care of this, make sure you're seeing stuff, make sure we're talking to the mic correctly. So
Yep, and Claire McGrain from the GeekWire team is here, and she's monitoring the audio, and she puts everything together lately. So we're giving you a little behind.
did her hand make it in?
I don't think so.
Claire, put your hand back in and say hi to everybody. Nope, still didn't make it. Oh well.
Oh no, it did. It did on the Mevo. All right.
So
Anything from the YouTube folks that you want to talk about before we?
So what my wife asked is your
Are you being
she
nice
asked,
this week?
Is Todd's wife more like me since you are more like her? Which is, she is more of a, we don't need the next big new thing. My wife would be fine if we had a 13-inch black and white TV.
My wife is more like your wife.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
That's funny. Okay.
So she's, in fact, sometimes she curses at me for ever introducing a phone into her life. A smartphone.
Because she was fine with the flip.
She was totally fine with the flip phone. And I said, well, how would you text? You know? And
right.
I think she was really good at T9.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's a skill.
That is a skill. That's a skill by a very small swath of the population.
Yep.
That was sort of a lost
Teens
art.
were really good. Like
Yes.
Paris Hilton back in the day, she knew how to do that.
Yes.
She had the sidekick though.
She did until that one.
Someone said we sound like we're in a fishbowl a little bit.
On YouTube.
So what's happening there is we're actually live streaming into my iPhone 7 Plus, and so it doesn't have a dedicated microphone on it. But I always make an edited, much nicer version of the show that will then be uploaded later. So if you missed the live stream, you'll actually get a nicer version of the show, you know, a few days after we're done recording.
Right, and of course we're recording straight off the mics. That
Right.
was another challenge. I know we're getting so in the weeds here, but that was another challenge with the Mevo, if anybody tries that out. This is a cool camera. I love it.
Mhm.
It's available at Best Buy. I think it was, $300.
Yep.
But we're just going native off the Mevo camera there. Instead, we were trying to pipe these mics into that, and it was causing all sorts of craziness.
Right. There's a lot of duct tape in here. You know,
we finally do have the lights up. We
have some real lights up in here.
yeah, exactly.
This is nice. This
All
is
right.
nice. One last question. Someone asked, will the iPhone X8 10th anniversary, whatever, will it have an A11 or A12 chip in it? You know what
Andrew?
that is?
Yes.
I'm
Well,
going to say, okay, so right now we're at A10 in the iPhone 7. We're at A10 chip. I'm going to say it's going to have an A11 chip. Just because that's the next in the line. I don't think it's going to have. They're not going to skip to the 12. So I think what we're going to see is we're going to have the iPhone 7s and iPhone 7s Plus.
Yeah.
We're going to have those two devices. They're going to be derivative or not derivative. They're going to be the next evolution of what we have now.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to have. I don't know if they're going to call it iPhone 8 or iPhone Pro or something that is a more premium device, and that is similar to what Samsung does. What Samsung was doing is they have the S7, they have the S7 Edge, and then they have the Note 7. So they have three. They have their regular, the big version of the regular, and then a more premium model of their phone. And I think that's what we're going to see Apple do. So I think we're going to have an A11 chip in all three of those. Maybe the larger one gets the A11X, which would usually be reserved for an iPad. But I don't think so. I think it'll just be a higher clocked version of the A11 chip.
Why should anybody care what chip's in their phone?
I mean, some people. I think it's just more of like if you're a geek, you're getting into the nuts and bolts of it.
Does it
Most
really
people,
make a difference in the experience?
I think so.
In what way?
I think so. These chips, especially the ones that Apple makes, since they make their own, they're very good at optimizing. Okay. So like the latest one, for example, it's a quad-core chip, which has 2 performance cores and 2, efficiency cores in it. And it'll actually actively send, if it needs high performance, it'll send it to the high performance core. If it's a low performance, instruction, it'll send it to the efficiency core. Okay. And that saves your battery instead of just having 4 cores that are all running at the same clock speed. And then if you put your phone into low power mode, it turns off the 2 high performance cores completely. So Apple is really good at making these chips that are optimized for, because they make everything. They make the hardware, they make the software, and it works really well together. And so now I don't know when he says, is it going to have the A11 or A12? We don't even know what those chips will even have in them. So it's hard to guess. But I don't think they're going to have 2 different chip generations in the same generation of smartphone line.
Yeah. Well, I'm late for lunch.
All right. He's late for lunch. This guy's hungry. I got to get out of here and get some lunch as well.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you very much for going behind the scenes with us here.
Yeah.
This has been fun. That's it.
That's it.
All
Thanks
right.
for watching.
Yep. Thank you. And it seems like YouTube was a success based on
YouTube,
the
we had a lot of
engagement
people
there.
watching. Lot of comments in here.
Okay.
We'll be back next. Oh wait, won't be, next week.
Week
I'm
after
out.
next.
Next week I'm out of town. Week after next we'll be back. We'll live stream again. Look out for the edited, more clean version of the show as well. If you want to see it again.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Until next time, I'm Todd Bishop.
I'm Andrew Edwards.
You're listening to Geared Up on GeekWire. Actually, just want it to be geared up. All right.
Whatever. We're still live.
We're still live
over
hey,
here.
no swearing. No swearing.
I go with iOS just because I like iOS, and I've been using it for almost 10 years now, so I'm locked in. You're iOS as well. Someone just asked iOS or Android.
Yeah. Any other questions while we're still on YouTube? Now that the Facebook people are gone.
Facebook people are gone.
Now we can really talk.
The YouTube people are still here.
The mics are off. Claire's not recording anymore. Hey, YouTube.
Swear as much as you
YouTube,
want, it's not going
it's
on
just
radio.
you.
Oh, the
Let's
mics are
talk.
off?
Yes.
Get this mic out of here. All right, questions. Throw some questions
Yeah.
at
After,
us. We'll
this
answer
is the
them.
after the show.
This is exclusive, exclusive for YouTube.
I'm envisioning a lot of competition.
Any question about technology or life or dating or anything?
Oh, hey, Kevin, thanks. Thanks for
Drop it
watching.
in.
Kevin said he enjoyed it. Good job. I'm taking all the positive praise I can get these
Nice.
days. I need it.
Nice. My wife says she would definitely watch a black and white TV.
Will SB...
S8 be a hit or miss?
Oh.
Galaxy S8. My opinion, I think Samsung knows that they have to come out swinging with the S. If they don't have a hit, they are going to be
But-
severely.
It's one thing to know that, and it's another thing to actually have the R&D pipeline to pull it off.
Right. Samsung is so huge. I mean, they're
Yeah.
big. People don't realize how big Samsung is. Samsung makes tanks for wars. Like they are
but
huge.
At this point, it seems like all they need to do is come out with something that doesn't blow up.
Well, I mean, that will be, if they come up with something that doesn't blow up, great, but LG is coming out of the gate with
Right.
the G6 that I think is going to be an amazing phone. Apple, obviously, all the rumors about what Apple's coming out with next are saying that they're going to come out with something amazing, something, that changes the game once again. So Samsung needs to change the game too.
Ooh, this guy knows his stuff. What do you think the Geekbench score of the iPhone X 10th anniversary 8 will be?
That is a hard, guessing a Geekbench score is a hard
Okay,
thing.
what is a Geekbench score?
So
is that
it's-
like the?
so that's a benchmark. So
Uh-huh.
you download this benchmark tool to your phone and you run the benchmark and it runs all sorts of tests on the processor, and then it comes up with a score that tells you basically how well it performs compared to other devices. And so the score might be like 5,412 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hard thing to guess. My guess though, it'll be like the last phone, the iPhone 7 Plus, had a higher Geekbench score than the MacBook. So Apple's processor in the 7 is a better processor, faster processor than the one in the MacBook. Not the MacBook
Okay.
Pro, the MacBook. So these chips that Apple's putting in their mobile devices are getting really good.
Okay, I really am late for lunch.
This guy's late for lunch. He has to get out of here.
Thanks,
All right,
YouTube.
guys.
That was great.
Thanks for watching. Leave comments below. Stay tuned for giveaway results. Stay tuned for the next giveaway that launches.
I'm really impressed with this.
And we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. How do I stop
Before you
this?
do.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to go back.
Probably over there.
Bye, everybody.
Finish and they'll finish. Okay.